and how y'all doing? It's your girl Asia and I am back with another video. So today's video is going to be about being pregnant in the army and the pros and cons of that. Now, a lot of people wanted me to do this video because there are a lot of struggles of being pregnant in the army, and we're gonna sit here and talk about them today. So the first pro is free health care. So, you know, it costs a lot to have a baby, and when you're in the army, like you're active duty in the army, the military pays for all the expenses for when you have the baby, and your medical bills are really cheap because you got really good insurance. So that's a really big pro. And I did a little survey on Facebook and I got a lot of feedback about that one thing being a really big pro, which was the benefits of medical care. Another pro is having months off for leave after you have the baby. I personally haven't had my baby yet, but women get 3 months off after they have their baby, and that's a really big pro because you don't want to have a baby and go right back to work. The next thing is the farther along you are, the less work you have to do. And this is a really big thing, like a really big thing that I like, because due to COVID, I wasn't already doing anything. They didn't have me doing anything, but now since the COVID and everything, I'm really not doing anything. So I get to stay home and clean, like do stuff around the house and make sure I have all the baby stuff in order for when she gets here. Oh, and also when you get like in your 3rd trimester or etc., like the farther along you are, the less time you spend at work, because you can only work a certain number of hours in a day while you're pregnant, because you know you're gonna be tired if you're gonna be hurting, and it's in the regulations. Make sure y'all read that. Another really good pro is having a great supportive leadership. Like me, I have the best LT and squad leader. Well, my squad leader just left, but I have the best LT and squad leader, and I feel like without them during this whole pregnancy at my unit, my pregnancy would suck and I would be really messed up. But I have a great LT and a great squad leader. I'm so glad that I've had them throughout my pregnancy, because if I didn't, I would have like left the army, honey. Okay, now since we got all the pros out the way, and clearly y'all see there are not a lot, we are gonna get to the cons. Being pregnant in the military is hard AF. It's so stressful. And the first con we're gonna start with is, and this is from a comment from someone else, they'll expect you to still be able to do everything regularly. This is so true. When you get pregnant, you will get a pregnancy profile from the doctors and the clinic that you go to. They will give you a pregnancy profile, and make sure you read your profile from top to bottom, because if you have a really, I'm gonna say shitty, if you have a really shitty command, some of them will really try to make you break your profile. Like me, I work in the motor pool because I'm an 88 Mike and I drive trucks, but I'm not supposed to be out there in the motor pool with all the chemicals and gas that the trucks produce. So I'm not supposed to go to the motor pool. My leadership would always try to make me go to the motor pool. No. Like when you're pregnant, it's a lot of stuff that you cannot do. Like they can't make you go down, like they can't make you push, none of that. No, 0. Another thing is they'll tell you what you can and cannot do like they're the pregnant one. This is a big one. Do not let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do, because 1, they're not pregnant, 2, every pregnancy is different, and 3, they do not know your body. Don't let it happen, because they will do that. Because you're pregnant, they will feel like they can just run over you. Don't let them do that, okay? Because they know I'm not the one. Okay, the next one is they keep you on CQ and staff duty even if you're violently throwing up all day. This happened to me. I was on staff duty one time and I was throwing up really bad. It was during my 1st trimester, and to have staff duty during your first trimester is really messed up, because that's your most crucial trimester. So you're not going to be able to stay up for 24 hours and pull a 24-hour shift. But good thing I had a very nice NCO with me doing staff duty, and he let me go home for majority of the time, because even he felt like it was really stupid that a pregnant woman would have to pull a 24-hour shift. We can't stay up that long. But depending on the NCO that you're with, they will work with you. Like, I've never pulled a 24-hour duty and stayed the whole 24 hours. Never, because they really, like, you gotta have a very understanding NCO. Another thing that your command will do, and I had this experience with my platoon sergeant, they will try to make you feel bad for getting pregnant. Me and my husband were not married at the time of me getting pregnant back in February, and we didn't plan on getting pregnant anyways. But it's just like, when they find out that you're pregnant, it's like, oh, like, you got pregnant, like, oh, they will make it seem like you got pregnant to get out of deployments, or get out of PT, or get out of going to the field, or just get out of doing work in general. Most of the time, no one's just like, I'm just gonna go get pregnant, okay? But do not let them make you feel bad for getting pregnant, because one, it's not their business. They're not your parent or anything like that. You're grown. You can get pregnant if you want to. And two, it's just not their business. And with that being said, a lot of the time they'll be like, well, who's the baby's father? Who's the dad? Blah, 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 blah. Why is it your business? Like, it's not your business. You do not have to tell them personal stuff like that. They will make it seem like you have to tell them this stuff, but you do not have to tell them that, because it's not their business. Okay, and more about the command. I had a terrible platoon sergeant during my pregnancy. It's like, he knew or he didn't know, and some of your command don't know the regulations on pregnancy, so that's why they also try to tell you some stuff. And I don't feel like my platoon sergeant knew the stuff that I could and could not do, and he would try to yell at me or stuff like that. Like, for example, one time we were told to have a formation outside in the motor pool. My squad leader and my team leader knew that I was in the office, which is my place of duty since I'm pregnant and I can't go to the motor pool. But they wanted me outside anyways, my platoon sergeant did. So I went out. He tried to make a scene in front of the formation while I was walking to the formation, and he was like, what time were you supposed to be out here? You were supposed to be out here at a certain time. You better be glad. I should make you push. Make who push? Me? No. I respectfully went into parade rest and told him, platoon sergeant, I was in the office like I was supposed to be, but no one was in there, so I came out here to see if everyone was out here. But did your squad leader know? Yes, my squad leader knew I was in the office, because that's where I was supposed to go. But I kept my composure. Good thing now I go straight to my LT with stuff, and me and my platoon sergeant don't talk, because but you know, my bad. Okay, another con is with the OBs in the hospitals. I'm at Fort Drum, and we do not have a hospital on post, so we use the hospital a couple of miles away from post. We have our own little OB section for Fort Drum there. But the only thing with being active duty in the military is I personally, and a lot of people have vouched for me on this one, you never see the same doctor. Like, they always give you different doctors. I've never been assigned one single doctor. It's like, and they'll tell you that you have to go to a certain doctor, like you have to go to those doctors. I'm not sure if that's true. That's something that I do have to do my research on. I know spouses don't have to go to military doctors. As long as TRICARE takes your insurance, you can go anywhere you want to. And I highly recommend going to somewhere that's not a military OB. Some of them are really good, but the fact that we active duty military don't get to keep a single, the same doctor the whole time, makes it really scary, because you don't know who's gonna deliver your baby, and it's not like you can really choose either. So it's just like, I would want to keep the same doctor the whole time, and that same doctor deliver my baby, because me and that doctor could have a bond. But I can't do that because, y'all, I am 23 weeks pregnant and I don't even know who my doctor is. Let that sink in. Exactly. But that's just one thing you have to be careful about. And also, ask questions. They feel like just because you're in the military that you cannot ask questions. Ask questions about your health. Ask questions about what's going on with you, your body, your baby. Ask questions that you don't know. If you're curious about something, ask questions. Another thing a lot of women said on my post, and something that I haven't been through yet because, again, I haven't had my baby, there's never places to breastfeed at all. So that's another thing. Make sure you talk to your command, and if you have to, go up to your first sergeant or commander, and they're supposed to have a sanitary place for you to breastfeed throughout the day. They have to. And I know I'm gonna breastfeed my baby, so they better, or I'm just gonna stay home and breastfeed. Sorry. Fine, and this is like for the dad house or whoever you have your baby with is in the military. The mom gets like 3 months off for leave, while the dad only gets like, I think someone said like 12 days. I don't think that's cool, or like 30 days. I don't know. I don't think that's good though. Like, it's both of their babies, you know, and I feel like the dad should be able to get just as much time off as the mom will be able to enjoy having time and spending time and bonding with that baby. I don't feel like that's fair that the males don't get a lot of time off with their kid, but that's the Army and I cannot change that. But I just really feel like that's really messed up, like totally messed up. And another con that I'm gonna stop at, because I do not want this video to be too long, no, but if you have more questions, make sure you ask me in the comments or anything. But another con, you can get kicked out the military for not having a family care plan. A family care plan is like, for instance, you need a short-term person and a long-term person, and that short-term person will be there. Say you get stuck at the range when you go back to work, or you get stuck at work longer or something like that. You need that short-term person to make sure your baby's okay and make sure they can keep your baby. And the long-term person is when you get like deployed or something like that, and you have to have those two people. And sometimes babysitters, you know, cancel on you and stuff like that, but you have to have a short-term person and a long-term person for that family care plan. They take family care plans very, very, very serious, but they give you time to make them too, because I was new to my company and new to the area, so I don't have anybody to do as my short-term person. My long-term person would be my mom. Some stuff does change and they understand that, but you always have to have your family care plan updated, and etc, etc. They also would like for the short-term or long-term person to not be in the military, because you never know what can happen with either one of y'all's schedules. There's a lot of cons of being pregnant in the military. The main things is to not let anyone drag you. Like, don't let anyone feel like they can just tell you anything. But it's a lot of stuff that you cannot do when you get pregnant. Words of advice for ending this video: do not be scared to say no to your NCOs, especially E4 and below. Like, you can say no. My E&O works very good. My no button, boop, no. Especially when it comes to breaking your profile, because that's a legit reason to say no. If it's something that you feel like can harm you in any way or harm your baby in any way, you can also say no. Make sure you read your pregnancy profile from top to bottom. Make sure you read the Army regulation for pregnancy from top to bottom. Know everything in the regs, what you can and cannot do, because again, some of your NCOs, some of your leadership does not know the regulations for pregnancy and do not know what's on your pregnancy profile. You need to know those regs and be able to pull out your profile and tell them, no, I cannot do this. Have proof of everything. Okay. And also, if everything is not working out and you feel like you're being targeted by your chain of command, your leadership, and you feel like your platoon sergeant or squad leaders or whatever is like coming at you and targeting you for being pregnant, etc., etc., you can use the open door policy with your first sergeant or commander. Do not be scared to use the open door policy, because just because you're pregnant does not make you less than a soldier than anyone else. It's just certain stuff that you cannot do. But that's all I have for y'all for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and share to all of your military friends that are pregnant or planning on getting pregnant, or spouses, etc., etc. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in my next video.